So, hi everyone. A very warm welcome today uh, for this fireside chat on cloud computing 2.0 and how is it transforming the overall technology landscape. So, please welcome our special guest, our expert guest, Mr. Deepak Pargaonkar, who is the Vice President and Solution Engineering at Salesforce, to offer us insights on potential benefits and challenges while adopting and integrating cloud computing 2.0 solutions and how the technology is going to evolve over the next few years. So, very warm welcome, Mr. Deepak, for this fireside chat.
Thanks so much, Amit. Really excited to be here.
Sure, sure. So, I would begin this conversation with a question around how do you see cloud computing 2.0 shaping the overall technology landscape and digital transformation efforts across the industry? How has this technology evolved over the last few years?
Great. So, Amit, when we look at, first of all, cloud computing, okay, what was the first part of cloud computing? Essentially, the organizations started leveraging cloud as an infrastructure for some of their business applications and some of their business data. For example, maybe an initial part of their Salesforce automation or some of the other business capabilities, right? So organizations started adopting cloud quite some time back. Essentially, talking from a Salesforce perspective, organizations started adopting in 1999. Then they started doing their Salesforce automation, some bit of a customer service on cloud. However, as we look at cloud today and the cloud evolution to date, there's pretty much a lot of big data that is getting managed on cloud. A lot of business critical applications that is managed on cloud. A lot of development of the capabilities, what we classically call as platform as a service, or even the infrastructure. A lot of things have now got into cloud. And what has happened because of that? There are now things like big data analysis, artificial intelligence, and a lot of new things that the organizations are now able to do on cloud. Organizations have been doing some business capability automation on cloud, but now with so many business capabilities on cloud, there obviously is a lot of data that is getting generated. A lot of that data is getting managed. When I say managed, a lot of consolidation of the data, analysis of the data. And then on top of that, applying some of the new age capabilities like artificial intelligence, etc., are now all happening in cloud. And that's the way in which the technologies have evolved. So, started small, but today it has become business critical. It has become not only some business capabilities, but all around critical applications, decision making, data analysis, artificial intelligence, development of the applications. So several capabilities have now moved on to cloud. And that loosely, classically, we term it as cloud 2.0. And that's the observation. Obviously, when we now look at the way technology has evolved, of course, the capability of computing on the cloud has gone up manifold. Ability to manage the data has gone up manifold. Devices, there's a plethora of devices. And the ease of adoption has also fairly significantly gone up. So that's the starting point of, I would say, how the technology seems to have evolved and how the organizations are leveraging on it.
Very good. So, can you also provide a few of the insights into the specific use cases and industry applications where cloud computing 2.0 technologies like serverless computing or maybe edge computing, AI integration, these kind of things are making the most significant impact right now?
This is brilliant. Let me give you some simple use cases. Organizations have been using Salesforce automation capability or customer service capability, which they deployed on cloud, and that they have been doing for some time now. Now, imagine an organization wants to apply AI capability on the data that is available in their sales capability application or service capability application or marketing capability application. Okay. And what could be a simple business use case? I'm a salesperson. I will have a lot of data in my organization's repository. And that organization now wants to drive some insights about what's the way in which my customers should behave. Like, for example, what's the next best product that I can sell to my customer? How I, as a salesperson, can become more productive? How I should be managing my day and my meetings with the customers? A lot of these things, if intelligent, artificial intelligence capability drives and gives that insight to the salesperson, that's a great usage of the data that is there. And this is what a lot of organizations are now doing. Like, for example, at Salesforce, we have a lot of customers using our sales capability. On top of that, we are now driving and delivering the insights like lead scoring, account insights, opportunity insights, which will make meaning or which will keep meaningful insights to the salespeople in their hand. Similarly, when we are talking about customer service, now what is it that the customer service as a function needs to do? It needs to be made available 24/7, right? Today we are in an era where I want to connect with the organization at the time of my convenience and the channel of my convenience. Today, for example, in the midnight, I'm working on some business transaction as a consumer and I want some support. What the organizations are not doing, they are deploying bots. And those bots are actually the AI-based capability. Now, that capability is helping organizations provide this 24/7 support to the consumers at the time that they want. What exactly it is now doing is providing this great consumer experience with the help of AI-driven bots. Second, if I were to do some classification of various types of customer engagement and customer service queries that I get, and do intelligent routing of that based on artificial intelligence, then it actually improves the productivity of my customer service function, my agent productivity, with my field sales staff. So there are so many examples, and I just tried to give you a few of them on it, that organizations now are leveraging the artificial intelligence capability that comes to them through the cloud service providers like Salesforce on their infrastructure.
Very good, very good. So, what we understand that you have already elaborated a lot on the potential benefits that we are going to have through this cloud computing 2.0. But what are the challenges that businesses across industries might face while adopting and integrating cloud computing 2.0 solutions?
Yeah. So when we talk about the benefits and the possibilities, we agree that there are immense possibilities, immense benefits. Now, obviously, what biggest benefit is organizations can focus on what they do the best, which is their business. And also they can focus more on giving the consumer experience. They can provide the best of the productivity tools to their employees, etc. However, in this world, when we are talking about artificial intelligence coming passively into the play, in many other capabilities which are offered to the developers, certain things are becoming important. And what are those certain things? One, security. We are talking about security as an important aspect because organizations are actually doing their mission critical applications. For example, we have customers using commerce capability, which they have deployed, leveraging our cloud computing. And when the organizations are doing their commerce with their consumers, the security becomes extremely important. Same way,
Exactly.
when we are talking about artificial intelligence, now with artificial intelligence coming into play, there are so many things which the organizations need to consider as to what kind of trust, what kind of safety, what kind of honesty are part of that artificial intelligence. Because today,
Yeah.
artificial intelligence actually is progressing at a massive pace. We are in the era of predictive era. Quickly now we are moving into the area of generating AI. Now, all
Yeah.
of these things bring the challenges of some of the aspects which I earlier spoke about from an AI perspective. The other most important part is also the learning. How well the organization is building their capability around all these new age technologies and new age capabilities. You also spoke about some of the other aspects in terms of the edge computing, etc. Yeah, that field also is kind of moving at a rapid pace with a lot of capabilities like self-driving cars as well as IoT capabilities. A lot of these things are coming together. Organizations now need to think about how do they want to build the capability of people within their organization, how to help them learn these technologies, not only to build, but to leverage also. We are hearing a lot about what you can say as citizen developers, whereby the business users will be able to write their code by using these technologies, which are making writing the code easy, which is a low code capability. Per se, the cloud computing to what it is delivering for the organization. So, in a nutshell, organizations need to really consider security, every kind of security, security of their infrastructure, security of the data, security of the data in transit. The other
Yeah.
part is when we talk about the artificial intelligence, the essential elements around artificial intelligence of what's the accuracy, what's the safety, what's the honesty of the responses generated by the artificial intelligence. Then we also
Yeah.
need to consider the employee capability building. How do we really bring up everyone? Now, fortunately, we at Salesforce, because I represent Salesforce, I can give certain specific examples. We at Salesforce,
Mhm.
these are extremely important aspects. So, from a learning perspective, we actually have brought the tool called Trailhead. So, I would request anyone who is looking at learning some new technologies, the new age technologies, go to trailhead.salesforce.com. That's a free to use and free to learn capability, whereby we are providing everyone an opportunity to learn capabilities. Organizations can leverage this platform to build their own learning experience platform so that the essential element of the digital literacy or empowerment of the organization can also be catered to. So I think, Amit, these are the aspects that organizations need to consider, they are considering, and some of the capabilities provided by solution provider like Salesforce.
Very good. Very good. I believe you have given very deep insights, very particular examples. Okay. So I also want to understand if, if we talk about cloud computing 2.0 paradigm, how is it influencing the development and deployment of cloud native applications and architecture? And what are the advantages does it offer to the organizations?
That's a brilliant question. See, when we look at from a developer's perspective, what the developers are looking for is an ability whereby they focus on delivering the capability rather than worrying too much about what is lying underneath. And when I say what is lying underneath, it is about what's the platform, what's the capacity, what's the computing power, what's the security infrastructure and security mechanism. Now, the developer don't need to worry about that because the platforms which offer them on the cloud, the ability to develop, they already are catering to all the underlying requirements that I spoke about. So if someone is using Salesforce platform to build application, which might be for the internal usage or which might be for the external usage, then the developers need to focus largely on what's the business case, what's the solution, and how they will write the best possible code by using either no code, low code, or pro code capabilities provided by solution provider like Salesforce. And that's huge, right? Earlier, that was really long back. When a developer used to start, she or he always used to worry about what's the computing power, what's the security mechanism, what are the relevant underlying things, operating systems, etc. But today, with the cloud computing development platform, that's not really required. The developers can find what business outcome they want to deliver. And what's the benefit of that? Clearly, as I said earlier, organizations then can focus on creating and deploying innovative business applications rather than focusing a lot on the other aspects of development lifecycle.
Very good. So, what are the security considerations and best practices should businesses in various sectors keep in mind while implementing cloud computing 2.0 solutions? So, what are the security considerations and best practices that organization should follow?
Okay. See, when we look at, you spoke about different sectors and the new age of computing. Now, when we talk about, say, for example, certain sectors, there are certain compliances and regulatory requirements, right? It may be about even the data residency. It may be about the way in which data is managed. Now, organizations really need to be aware of all those things. And what we are seeing is that all the organizations who are adopting this cloud computing are always asking these basic questions as to, hey, if we go with you, is your solution capable of providing us possibly certain things like data residency, certain other compliance requirements, right? Like, for example, just to give a very simple example, in GDPR kind of guidelines, there are certain ways in which the data needs to be handled of a customer. And it is about whether the organization should remove the data of customer. That is what we call it as a right to forget, right? If I'm no more doing the business with the organization and I want the organization to really remember, then that's something which is provided by the cloud service providers. So organizations need to consider regulation, compliance requirements of the region, as well as when we talk about the security, obviously, access, who needs to see what kind of data, how the consumer data in transit or the data in transit is also secured. So overall, what we provide as a solution is called as the privacy center, which is masking of the data. Where do I need to mask the data? How do I need to manage the data in transit? Are all the capabilities that the organizations surely need to consider.
Very good. Very good. So, my last question would be around uh, as we see that the technologies are evolving very fast. Okay. And this is the same case with cloud computing 2.0. Okay. As it continues to evolve. So, what future trends or advancements do you anticipate that could have a significant impact on industry specific use cases and business outcomes? How is this technology going to evolve over the next couple of years or so?
Smart devices, artificial intelligence are going to be really, really important. That's the way the organizations, when we talk about AI, generative AI will surely be playing a lot of important role in the future to shape up how the organizations provide the experience to their consumers. Because if we see There's so much of investment happening in that. And a lot of these things are coming into the reality. Organizations will really need to think about what's the way in which they are going to adopt all these areas and use them in their business capabilities. Organizations will also need to focus a lot on how exactly they would be planning to engage with the internal stakeholders in this new age. And when I say internal stakeholders, how they will be deploying their capabilities, because a lot of these things, which are like mundane tasks, which will be automated, which will be done. Even on the world of developers, a lot of code writing will be happening automatically. In this situation, how the organizations start leveraging their workforce, as well as the other aspects which I have already spoken about, imperatives that artificial intelligence and the technology brings. How exactly are they going to manage all of that is going to become important. So, world is becoming full of benefits, advantages, courtesy new age technologies, but it also brings along with that other areas for organizations to consider, and they need to really start thinking about.
Very good, very good. I believe you have given such a deep insight, and with very detailed examples. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for your time. Thanks a lot for your inputs. I believe that the audience would really enjoy, would really see value in the responses that you gave. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Amit, and I also hope that it's a value for time for everyone who listens and tunes into this. But thank you so much.
Sure, sure. Thank you.